Buenos días y buen bonitos de todos. Good morning and welcome, everyone. Welcome to a community dedicated to providing spiritual tools for living a happy and full life. My name is Karina Shearer, and I am the spiritual director and founding minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta. If you would like to join us for the live Zoom meeting, please contact me for the link and password or check our website, www.cslpv.org, and you'll find the link on the weekly talk section. So today is Sunday, July 13th, 2025, and we are continuing our annual theme, Rising Higher, Growing Deeper, and our monthly topic, Rolling in the Deep. Today's topic is Breathe. It's Shark Week. So yes, I have some shark documentaries lined up, ready to watch on Netflix this week. So for the month of July, the suggested book for reading is Undrowned by Alexis Pauline Gumbs. And at this time, I'd like to once again welcome everyone, including those that are new to our teaching and to our center here in Puerto Vallarta, whether you are on the live Zoom call or watching the replay at a later time. Just know that everyone is welcome here. We teach a philosophy here called the Science of Mind, and it's a teaching based on new thought and ancient wisdom. And we offer spiritual tools and principles to promote personal growth. And we honor diversity in all aspects so that we can see and appreciate the great oneness that already exists everywhere and within everyone. When Dr. Ernest Holmes was asked to provide a concise definition of the teaching of the science of mind, he had replied that it is a correlation of laws of science, opinions of philosophy, and revelations of religion applied to human needs and aspirations. So each week we offer a service with an inspirational message. We offer the Zoom meeting at 10 a.m. and we'll continue with the Sundays in person at noon on the first and third Sundays, starting in August, as a few of you have indicated that you are interested in attending during the summer. And as part of our intention to grow this center, we are inviting guest speakers to join us the second Sunday of the month on Zoom. And that's to provide the message in Spanish with the English translation. And so when I am at the Convention of the Americas in Chapala next week, I will be putting out a request for some of the Spanish-speaking community to join me on Zoom. So that's something exciting to look forward to. And now, as we do each week, let's review together our purpose, vision, and mission statements. We have a grand purpose each week, and that is to awaken and celebrate diversity and to love and serve our community. We do this by means of our vision, creating the life you desire. And this is supported by our mission to provide spiritual tools for personal growth and transformation. And more on all of these can be found on their own drop-down page on our website. And as we have been returning to our tradition of reading from the Creative Thought magazine, we will be offering today's Spiritual Mind Treatment from July 13, 2014. And so as spiritual mind treatment is always done in the first person, I ask that you choose these words as your own, if you so choose, and to just gently close your eyes so that you can fully embody the words. And join me in knowing the perfect divine is everywhere at once. It is in me as me. I now move from right knowing to right thinking, which must precede right action. My inherent nature is creative, and in this beautiful moment, I choose to set in motion the wheels of healthy progress in my world and as my world. Today, I celebrate my time for treatment, become one with the infinite wisdom, and take action to properly flow my consciousness into a positive change of events. I let divine ideas reveal themselves as me. I attune my thoughts to the intelligence that is altogether wise and the wisdom that finds an outlet through my faith in me as, pardon me, through my faith in it as me. I know that my practice of spiritual mind treatment is essential to my spiritual growth and understanding. It initiates healthy, happy activity in my experience. My mind is the mind of God individualized, therefore, my mind is creative. I think in the law, that the universal law of mind responds by corresponding to the kind of thoughts I think. I honor my great freedom to receive and think from my true nature. My whole experience is now vitalized. I give thanks, let go, and know this is so, and so it is. And that was submitted by Dr. J. Scott Neal from Fremont, California. And so how can we unlearn the stories that keep us from being who we truly are? Is what we're going to be looking into today and how that relates to Shark Week. So let's start with this first quote by Dr. Ernest Holmes. The wick of your individual life runs deep into the oil of your pure being. There is but one life, and that life is your life now. No matter what confusion appears at the surface of your life, there is always a place of calm at the center of your being. No matter how turbulent the waves may be on the ocean of your experience, beneath there is a changeless peace. Your being is submerged, but not lost in the infinite. And so balance doesn't mean everything is perfect or in perfect proportion. It's about recognizing the unique contributions of different elements and different perspectives. So we question stereotypes and explore the myths and realities surrounding sharks, who, like many marginalized groups, are often misunderstood and unfairly feared. In this thing called You, Holmes wrote this: if the spirit has seen fit to express itself through a physical universe and to give you a physical body, it is, or pardon me, it would be absurd to think of this body or environment as an illusion unworthy of your attention. Rather, you should think of them as things of joy. So, misunderstood. Sharks are often misunderstood. And yes, even here in the Bay of Banderas, we have sharks. And often it's misunderstood. Most of them are so far away from the shore, we don't even know that they are there. Others are so deep into the bay on the bottom that we don't know they are there either. Others we might see if we are scuba diving or snorkeling, and some even have come ashore, but they are tiny and they are of no harm and are sent back out on their way. So sharks are depicted as dangerous and menacing, but they are actually magnificent creatures and are a vital part of keeping the ecosystems healthy. For example, the black-tip reef shark is found around the world along the coastlines of the Pacific. And while they inhabit a large range, individual black-tip sharks are homebodies, ranging within a small area near coral reefs. And they are considered a keystone species that are vital for maintaining other species with their own ecosystem. They are agile swimmers, and they are known as chameleons, having a great ability to camouflage themselves to avoid predators. And they also hunt and hang out in groups. Now, keep in mind, most sharks are actually just as afraid of humans, if not more so, than we are of them. The habitat of uh, the sharks in the coral reef is being damaged by ocean acidification, which occurs when the ocean absorbs carbon and becomes acidic. So we are ruining their habitat. And acidification degrades the physical structure of the reefs, putting the entire habitat and blacktip reef sharks' food supply at risk. So this affects all the creatures living among the reef, not just the sharks. And what can we learn from sharks that we can apply to humans? And how do we relate this to the world? Well, Ralph Waldo Emerson said this: misunderstood. It is a right fool's word. It is so bad then. Is it so bad then to be misunderstood? Pythagoras was misunderstood, and Socrates, and Jesus, and Luther, and Copernicus, and Galileo, and Newton, and every pure and wise spirit that ever took flesh. To be great is to be misunderstood. So, according to Ralph Waldo Emerson, the shark too must be great. Maybe that's why they call them the great white sharks. So the shark is often seen as a lone predator, stealthy, solitary, feared. Much like the myth of the rugged individualism, it is cast as a creature that thrives on its own, needing nothing, answering to nobody. But that's not the whole story. In truth, the shark is not separate from the sea. It belongs to an intricate, interdependent ecosystem, and it keeps the balance, culling the sick and the weak, allowing coral reefs to flourish, helping schools of fish thrive. And it moves alone, yes, but its loneliness is not isolation. It is participation. It is purpose. Rugged individualism tells us that we must go it alone in order to succeed. But wholeness comes when we realize that we are not the shark. We are the sea. We are not here to dominate, but to harmonize. Like the shark, we may be misunderstood. Others may fear our power, mislabel our presence, or mistake our strength for aggression. But our true nature, like the shark, is not about separation. It's about relationship with the ocean, with the web of life, what the unseen current that carries us all. We are part of that one. How have you internalized the notion that you should go it alone, or that successful people are self-made, or that you should be self-reliant? Well, the truth is, no one is self-made. We all rely on other people for success and our lessons in life. As John Donne wrote, no person is an island. We succeed by surrounding ourselves with a loving community, with people who cherish our unique qualities and lift us up. Community is a stronger approach. So as we've noticed in the shark, they are a part of their own community in the ocean depths. Here's a cute little story about a shark. A shark swims into a reef-side therapist's office and flops dramatically on the couch. Doc, I think I'm losing my edge. I used to be feared, the apex predator, but now I feel misunderstood. The therapist, a wise old sea turtle, nods. Let's explore that. What do you think changed? The shark says, well, last week a scuba diver called me majestic. The week before that, a kid in a glass-bottom boat pointed and yelled, look, Mummy, he's smiling. The turtle leans in. Maybe you're not misunderstood. Maybe you're evolving. The shark gasps. You mean I'm becoming emotionally available? The turtle responds, precisely. Now, tell me about your mother. Typical session, no? Ernest Holmes said this: the very judgment by which we judge others becomes a self-judgment. So that leads us to radical self-love. And as we begin to embrace the gloriousness of who we are, we can embrace radical self-love, which leads to radical love of others. Sonia Renee Taylor writes that radical self-love is not an impossibility. It is your inherent inherent sense of self. You came here to this planet as unapologetic radical love. And that was from her book, The Body is Not an Apology. So to live a life of radical self-love means that we must question all the ways that we have learned to hide ourselves, to not trust our intuition, and to fear others, because that is what we have been told to do. Taylor writes that to live a life of radical self-love demands that we look unflinchingly at our current set of beliefs about ourselves and the world and get willing to explore them. To call this the act of fear facing. Fear facing is not the absence of fear, but the interrogation of it. It is to look directly at the source of the fear and assess if we are truly in peril or if we are simply afraid of the unknown. So, to embrace ourselves fully, we must go and let go of the stories society has told about us. We have to dive deep and recover our spiritual whole selves. Ernest Holmes said this: "The science of mind proclaims the spiritual nature of humankind. It removes fear by introducing love. It places us in the mind of God as some part of the eternal wholeness. It gives shelter to our souls. It satisfies the natural hunger of our intellect for the larger life. It surrenders indecision for divine guidance, human fear for spiritual faith." So what can we take away from the black tip reef shark that helps us to live our lives? It's okay to be who we are, and we shouldn't hide ourselves because of what others think, and if they think that we are dangerous. We can embrace all of our parts and honor them. Gum writes, when a celebration, or pardon me, what a celebration, when we realize that our survival need not make us into monsters. When we forgive ourselves for shredding what could never even hurt us. When we evolve in our assignment of brave guardian vulnerability. We have wondered at the sharpness of teeth, glorified the extremities of alienation, and we have fetishized exactly what we fear. And now we are here to notice that miracle that was there all the time. So get curious about yourself and about others, including sharks. Look into places that scare you. Dive deep in beneath your preconceived notions and discover the hidden depths of your soul and the souls of other people. Honor them for who they are, for the way they find meaning in the world, and embrace the contradictions. And I'll leave you with this quote from John Donahue. An authentic life is a life that is aware of and willing to engage its own oppositions and honorably inhabits that threshold where the light and darkness and all the beginnings and endings of one's life engage. And that leads us to our affirmation for the week. Breathing deeply, I delight in being exactly who I am. So now it is time for news and updates at our center. If you are interested in learning more about the science of mind teaching, we do offer classes via Zoom as well as in person. And details will be on our website, or you can connect with me to ask me what classes we will be teaching, or let me know what classes you are interested in learning so that we can make arrangements for those as well. The accredited courses will be resuming in September, but if there is another book study or a short class that you would be interested in taking, such as meditation or even a grief circle, then please let me know so that we can arrange for those as well. I'd also like to remind you to commit to being a member of the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta for this current year, as membership does renew annually. Or if you would like to be on our board of trustees, then please connect with me as well so that you can be sent the current application form. I'd also like to remind you to connect with me if you would like to have a one-on-one spiritual mind treatment. And Finally, to remind you to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. Every time you like the page or even make a comment, that makes a difference in the algorithms and gets our page out there for more people to see. So please like, comment, share our YouTube channel as well as our Facebook page. And now it is time for mindfully giving and financial support of our spiritual home. We rely on your support to continue our center here in Puerto Vallarta so that we can continue offering this powerful teaching of the science of mind. And we bless the financial gifts that you give today. Every donation is greatly appreciated, no matter the amount. And donations can be made through our website, www.cslpv.org, through either PayPal or Tithely. And you'll find the donate buttons for both of these on our landing page, as well as at the top of the page where you find the weekly talks. Alternatively, you can still send in a paper check by addressing them to CSLPV number 403 2125 Birch Road, Kelowna, BC, B1Y 8N1. And now please join me in our offertory affirmation. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I do give eternal thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. So thank you for coming and sharing this time together. And let's continue practicing peace. We can each be a force for peace and nonviolence. Our words and our actions create ripples of peace all around us and beyond. Peaceful living includes acting with compassion, kindness, and consideration. And it also includes standing up against injustice. Today, more than ever, we need to stand for peace. So hug your friends, hug your loved ones, and hug your neighbor. May peace and love be with you. Blessings to all. Namaste.